Is Donald Trump sick? I know it's a weird question to ask just over a month into his presidency, but it's a question that is gaining traction. And it all started with an image. This one, it's doing the rounds on social media. The focus is on a pair of hands belonging to the US president himself. Zoom in and you will notice something unusual. There's a mysterious bruise on his right hand. It is large and it appears to be covered with makeup, perhaps an attempt to conceal it. But even with the cover-up, it is clearly visible. So what's going on here? The White House has an explanation. It says Trump is always working. He's shaking hands all day, every day. So this bruise is from that, from handshakes. I'll repeat that for you. Trump has apparently bruised himself from shaking hands. Was it because of a Macron-powered squeeze? We don't know, but the explanation is, at best, questionable. And this is not even the first time. Not the first time. He's had this bruise, in fact, for quite a few years. In 2019, he had a bandage on the same area. In 2020, the bruise was visible on his hand. In 2024, you can see it again on his hand, not in one picture, but in multiple photos. He had an interview with the Time magazine in 2024. Even they mentioned the bruise. And Trump offered a similar explanation. He said, it is from shaking hands. But the internet is not buying this. Social media has its own theories. One of them is blood thinners. Netizens believe that thinners lead to such a bruise. The other theory is aging. Donald Trump is 78 years old. He's the oldest person to be inaugurated as US president, even older than Joe Biden in 2021. Biden's presidency was marked by frequent stumbles, both verbal and physical. Donald Trump is, of course, better, but he too has had his fair share of gaffes.
And I watched our police and our firemen down at 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center, right after it came down. And I saw the greatest people I've ever seen in action.
As many as you have no idea what I did in the White House. I stopped wars with France.
You know, I was very honored as a man. Viktor Orban, anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world. And he's the leader of, right? He's the leader of Turkey. France.
But we're close to World War II because we have people in the White House that World War III. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Doesn't inspire much confidence. It also doesn't make the age problem go away. And to top that, there are two more issues. One, Trump loves his fast food. His meals include McDonald's, KFC, pizza, and well-done steaks. He also consumes 12 Diet Cokes a day. His favorite snack is Doritos. So this is not really the healthiest of diets. The second problem is Trump's medical history. He first released his medical records in 2015, just ahead of the 2016 election campaign. Then in 2018, he underwent his first medical examination as US president. This was during his first term. He weighed around 240 pounds. His cholesterol levels were quite high. He also had a common form of heart disease. In 2020, his cholesterol levels dropped, but his weight increased to 243 pounds. That made him medically obese. Trump's family also has a history of dementia. His father had it, so that also increases the risk of Alzheimer's. Since 2020, Trump has not released his medical records. He said he will do it in 2024, but he did not. So his recent medical history is truly a mystery, which brings us to the elephant in the room. The age question. When Trump leaves office, he'll be 82. Americans want younger leaders, they say. Last year, 51% said that Trump was too old to run, yet both parties kept picking candidates from the same generation. Joe Biden for the Democrats until the longest time, and Donald Trump for the Republicans. It's beginning to feel like a requirement. To be president, you must be old enough to have watched the moon landing live. But here's the bigger question. Why is a world leader's health such a mystery? Why does it take internet sleuths to notice bruises or stumbles? These leaders shape the world economy. They command militaries. They influence global policies. And yet, when it comes to their health, transparency is often lacking. Remember US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was in a wheelchair. It was rarely photographed. John F. Kennedy had Addison's disease, but the public never knew during his presidency. Ordinary citizens are required to disclose their medical records for jobs. Shouldn't the people who run countries have to do the same? Shouldn't their health be public knowledge too? So transparency is the need of the hour. Citizens have a right to know. After all, they were the ones who elected these leaders.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogan, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.